Hello, my name is Amanda Dell, and I'm the Farm to School intern with the state of Vermont. We're really excited to announce a brand new grant opportunity called the Community Supported Agriculture Grant, or CSA grant, where licensed Vermont childcare providers can purchase CSA shares and get reimbursed by the state of Vermont. In this quick presentation, I'll first give an overview of the grant program, then talk about how to find a CSA farm near you, and then I'll review our web grants application portal and how to submit an application. And lastly, answer some common questions that may arise. For this grant opportunity, we are seeking Vermont licensed or registered childcare providers who seek to purchase CSA shares for the families that they serve. The person submitting the application must be the fiscal agent, so please be sure that the person submitting the application is the one responsible for the money. So this could be a business owner or a business manager. How this grant works. So first, the early childcare provider will identify a CSA farm in Vermont that they wish to purchase from. They are also responsible for contacting that Vermont farm and ensuring that CSA shares are available. In the application, the childcare provider must prove that there are CSA shares available. So this can be either through an email exchange with the provider and the farmer, or a letter from the farmer stating that there's shares available. But please be sure to get documentation that you can upload into your application to state that there are shares available. Also, when contacting the CSA farmer, please let them know of the grant timeline. The application is due on February 17th, and the awards will be announced the first week of March. And we know that Vermont CSA shares sell out quickly. So we want to be sure that that CSA farmer can hold those shares for you if you are selected for the grant. Once you're selected for the grant, you will have to purchase the CSA shares out of pocket and then submit for reimbursement. The state of Vermont will reimburse you 80% of the total cost, which means that you'll be responsible for the other 20%. Lastly, the CSA produce can be used in a variety of ways to support your farm to school goals. There are numerous benefits to this new CSA grant. Of course, it helps provide access to fresh, healthy foods, and this is especially important now during a time of COVID, where over 50% of state residents have experienced job losses or reduced hours. We know that this has led to a rise in hunger and food insecurity. So we hope that with this grant, we're able to fill in the gap a little bit with fruits and vegetables. This grant also supports local farmers by buying directly from them. And we know that many Vermont farmers also practice sustainable farming practices. So we're also helping to build our resilient local food system here in the state. And lastly, this grant helps with food and nutrition education opportunities for kids. We know that in CSA shares, there's many unique vegetables. So it's a great time to teach kids and families about new fruits and vegetables. Finding a CSA. This is not as challenging as you think because NOFA Vermont has a great website. Included in the website for all lists most of the CSA providers, and you can search by location. Once you click on a farm, it shows the products that are usually offered in the CSA, the different sizes of the shares, pickup information, and more. So I highly recommend going to NOFA Vermont CSA map, but do note that not all of the farms are listed in there, but most of them are. Once you find your CSA farm, again, be sure to contact them and provide documentation that the shares are going to be available. And you'll save this documentation and upload it with your grant application. All right, now we're going to talk about how to apply to the grant using our web grants portal. The easiest way to find the grant webpage is to either Google the grant name with State of Vermont or to just go to the Agency of Agriculture, Food and Markets website. You'll then go to the CSA grant page, which you can see listed over here. On the page, you'll find a little bit about the program, and at the bottom is all the information you need on how to apply. If you have not submitted a grant application to the Agency of Ag before, you will have to create a Web Grants account to get a login information. The Web Grants account form is listed on the page here, and the requests take about 1 to 2 business days to process. So we highly recommend doing this sooner than later. From there, you also have a full guide to submitting an application here if you need more information. And then the Web Grants portal link is right here. You'll go ahead and click on that. You'll then enter your Web Grants information. I'm just going to use our tester account. You'll go to funding opportunities, and then you'll find that CSA grant and go ahead and click on it. You'll start a new application and type in the name of your application. This is where things get a little tricky because you do have to save this form 3 times to start that new application. When you get to the landing page, you'll see the 3 items that you'll need to complete in order to submit your application. And over here, it'll tell you if you fully completed those items. I'm going to start on the application itself. I have filled out my contact information, business information, and then I've discussed a little bit about the food that I serve currently, the types of snacks and meals. And then I've come to my CSA farm information. Be sure to list a farm that you would like to purchase from, and then you'll need to add their website. So I found the website of my farm using the NOFA Vermont CSA map. I'm going to copy that website information in there and post the URL. Below it is where you're going to select your file of that documentation that proves that those CSA shares are available. So again, this could be an email exchange between you and the farmer or a letter from the farmer stating that the shares are available, but be sure to upload it right here. The last component to the application is the utilization, impact, and sustainability section. Be sure to thoroughly think about how you're going to be using the CSA produce. Will you be incorporating it into meals and snacks that you already are serving? Will you be distributing it to families or using it in nutrition education activities such as taste tests or cooking lessons? Make sure that you and your team at the childcare center have a game plan on how they're going to use this CSA produce. Once you have filled out all components of the application, you're going to click Save Form and mark as complete. You may have a pop-up that tells you that there's a field that's incomplete. So go ahead and fill that back in if you have this error message, and then click it again and it should be complete. Once you receive that second check mark, the last thing you'll have to do for submitting your application is completing the water quality compliance certification. Once you see all 3 check marks, you can preview your application and then you can submit it and you're good to go. Lastly, I'm going to answer a few common questions that have been coming up during the application process. One question is, how long does it take to get reimbursed? It will take about 3 to 5 days if you use direct deposit and up to 2 weeks if you choose to get reimbursed by mail. How many shares can I purchase? Applicants can receive up to $1,000 in grant funds to reimburse them for the CSA shares. And the cost of the share ranges widely. So definitely research the farm and the different options for the CSA shares. In reviewing applications, we will be looking at the amount of children and families you serve and comparing that to the amount of CSA produce you are looking to purchase. So while you can request funding for multiple shares through this program, the amount of produce you're hoping to purchase should be in line with your operation. How will I receive my shares each week? Applicants will be responsible for picking up their shares, and some farms may deliver. So please be sure that this works for you and your operation. Can you use child nutrition school meal funds to pay for the CSA? Unfortunately, you're not able to. Thank you all so much for listening. And if you have any other questions, feel free to contact my colleague, Trevor Lowell. The email is listed below and also his phone number. Thank you.